probably have some altitude issues. It's okay, but can we try that one more time? How's everyone doing? Yes. Hi, I'm Allison. I'm one of the leaders of the Hollywood Climate Summit, along with Heather and Allie. Raise your hands in case you want to say hi after. Thank you all so much for coming to the Earth Lounge. The Earth Lounge is a community hub space that travels to different cultural places, experiences, to bring climate to media makers. We're really excited and grateful to have you all here. We hope it's a space of fun, but also healing and, you know, intellectual conversation and action as well, because there's a lot we need to do right now. And I just wanted to, I'm gonna be super brief. I just wanted to thank our incredible partners. They're not on the back, so I'll remember them. So thank you to Come Clean, to Universal Film, to the Redford Center, to Sustainable Entertainment Alliance, Jackson Wild, and the NRDC Rewrite the Future, as well as Climate Spring, and to our action partners, Grow the Flow, and the Great Salt Lake Hope Line, which you can check out. They're at the front. They're gonna help us all take action today. And then thank you to Dropout, who is going to be our program partner for the game show, which is happening right after. So we have this program, this incredible conversation. We're about to see a clip from the film, The Lake, and then we'll have a conversation with the filmmaker. And then after that, we will have our game show, and then that will lead into our mixer and party. But please enjoy snacks, beverages, all the things, and really grateful for you to be here. Come find me if you want to talk. Thank you so much.
Okay, so here we actually have the results back on the chemical composition of dust. These are the arsenic concentrations around the lake, and the red signifies that the concentrations are greater than the EPA screening levels.
And so they're all red?
So they're all red. Every measurement that we took for arsenic around the lake was red.
So all it takes is a little wind, and then this is airborne.
And now I just want to introduce, we have Alicia Reiner here. You might know her from television, but she's also an incredible climate activist. She works with the Earth Day Initiative. She works with Fossil Fuel Treaty. And so she's going to be moderating our conversation with filmmaker and producer of The Lake, Fletcher Keys. Thanks.
We have microphones.
Hello.
And I want to actually start by all taking a deep breath together, because that was a lot, right? That was just a little clip of it. How many of you guys have seen the film? Awesome. Okay. Well, I want us all to take a deep breath, because it's a moment on this earth, and I think it's so important in this Earth Lounge that we appreciate that we are together, that we are in community, and we are here for solution, right? That's why we're all sitting here. And I think whenever someone makes a movie, they start a conversation. They start a new conversation. And I think it's fair to say this is a conversation that we desperately need to have. And thank you, Fletcher and Abby, who is at another screening right now, right?
That's correct.
For making this beautiful and impactful film. And for those who haven't seen it, do you want to give a little summary and let us know how you became compelled to tell the story?
Yeah, we started following the story really 3 years on the dot. We've been in development, and it was when one of the characters who you just saw, Dr. Ben Abbott, he's a BYU ecologist. He published a paper alongside Bonnie Baxter, who's a microbiologist at Westminster College, and they published the paper blowing the whistle that the Great Salt Lake had only 5 years left before it would be in complete collapse. And that reached international headlines. Prior to that, I had done some reporting on the drought in Utah and how it was affecting everyday Utahns. So I kind of had a leg up on the topic, and we just jumped right in and started filming with Bonnie, and from there, it just turned into this 3-year-long endeavor.
And I guess my big question to you as we open this conversation is, what do you want audiences to know and to learn about the future of water conflicts, and how the situation is a map of what's to come?
Right. It's a good question. The future of water management, water resources in the West is obviously one that is becoming more and more contentious. And Utah is, in a way, is the canary in the coal mine, because we have this terminal lake, and terminal lakes are notorious for being these incredibly fragile ecosystems, but so important. And as we drain the freshwater resources they need to be replenished, they disappear. And what we know is that Utah has an opportunity to create a new blueprint for water management here. And so if Utah can figure out how to save Great Salt Lake, really they are breaking the mold. And other states, other countries can follow, because it wouldn't just be applicable to saline lakes like Great Salt Lake. It would be applicable to all water management issues, as a lot of our water rights were designed in the 1800s, and we're still operating off of those today. But it's very difficult to update those systems.
Yeah. During the film, I kept on thinking about the Baldwin quote, "Not everything that can be faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced." And I think one of the things you represent so poignantly is the unwillingness of people in power to face this crisis, right? To actually see it, that's right in front of them. And you handle quite beautifully the fear of liability. Like, that if we face it, then what does that mean? Both about endangered species and about the lake. And for audiences that are unfamiliar with the crisis, can you paint a picture of what happens if the lake dries up?
Sure, it's another good question. So many different implications would take place if the lake were to disappear. One of the primary threats, which is what this clip alluded to, is that of dust exposure to the almost 3 million people who live in immediate, very close to the lake, right? So that's the foremost issue, but that's not even looking at the economic impacts. The lake produces $2.5 billion in revenue every year, and so that's a huge amount of resources that would disappear. Not to mention the lake is vital habitat to over 10 million migratory birds. So and those are birds that travel all over the world. and it's just one of the most important stopover points on Earth.
So, because this is, again, a challenging conversation, let's go to some good news for a second. Would you please share with the audience what you shared with me earlier about the bird in the film? Yes,
Yeah.
and we have some good news today.
Yeah, really crazy timing. For those who haven't seen the film, one of the topics that we cover is the submission of the Wilson's phalarope to be on the Endangered Species Act, to be protected under the Endangered Species Act. And that is a very long bureaucratic process, but today it was just released that the Fish and Wildlife Service have moved that petition forward. So it's just one other step on the ladder that needs to take place for the bird to be protected federally.
Woo, right? Yes,
Yeah.
that deserves big claps. And I just want to say I love the way you wove in the birds, be it the Wilson's phalarope or the pelicans, and also the way you wove in family life. You know, it was beautifully crafted. And you grew up here. Abby has strong ties here. What was the moment you personally realized that this film isn't just like a public emergency, but very personal? Do you remember any particular moment when it sort of dropped in for you?
Absolutely. Yeah, when we were in development, we had just started filming. Our son was going to school. He was 4 at the time. He was going to school in West Valley, which is a community right on the southern tip of the lake. And when we had started filming with Kevin, the other person there with the gray hair, and his other name, he's known as Dr. Dust in Utah because he's the foremost dust scientist. When we started filming with him, and he told us about the health impacts on communities like West Valley, those that are both very low, like the lowest elevation in the valley and also right on the tip of the lake, they are facing by far the most health consequences as of right now. And our child was going to school right there. So we started sending him to school with an N95 mask on dusty or windy days.
Smart.
And yeah, that was hard.
And for those of you who haven't seen the film, do you want to share? I mean, in that dust, there's arsenic, there's selenium, there's
Mercury,
mercury,
cadmium.
yeah. And also, you learn in the film sort of some of the statistics about some of it drops after a couple of hours, but a lot of it stays in atmosphere 2 to 3 weeks. Is
Yeah.
that correct? Yeah.
Or until the next rainfall, right?
So we have an incredible group of humans here. If you were advising a CEO or an investor, what should they understand about water risk right now?
That's a really fascinating topic because there's two prominent attorneys here in Utah have been working hard on drafting new water legislation, trying to find ways to basically help transition from our current water usage to that of, just changing our whole understanding of water from a legal frame point. And they wrote a report that basically showed, well, the risk to companies, to investors who want to work in Utah is that at some point, any publicly traded company will have to file with the SEC that have to say, this is a risk. You have to disclose risks to your shareholders. And so that will, at some point, that's just going to be part of the package with companies in Utah. And as we can probably all deduce, that will scare a lot of companies away. So massive economic impact down the road if major steps aren't taken.
It's so funny at times like this, particularly this year, I think about like what would Robert Redford do right now? You know, and I'm curious, what do you think he'd do right now?
I think he would be very outspoken
Yeah.
for the lake.
Yeah.
I know his daughter is a huge Great Salt Lake conservation advocate. The Redfords are just always the tip of the spear when it comes to environmental conservation in Utah. So I have no doubts, yeah, he would be very much in support of doing everything possible to save the lake.
And I think you bring up a really interesting thing, which is in the movie you talk about the conflict of interest between being a scientist and an activist. And I found that fascinating because I'd never seen that portrayed before. Of can you be both a scientist and an activist? And I immediately was like, of course you can. But in the film you see that it's tricky. What's your personal opinion about that?
Dr. Ben Abbott, the ecologist, he has a really fascinating take because as an ecologist, he studies an entire ecosystem. And he will talk often about how one of the biggest blind spots in ecology today is that we don't study humans as part of the ecosystem. We study every other organism, but we are the most influential part of our ecosystem.
And the most dangerous.
Right. So in his mind, impacting human behavior is part of ecology, right? And so he's really crossed this. He's really walked this line of both being a scientist and just advocating for the lake in every way, and it's really inspiring.
I love that perspective of it, and I've never thought of humans as part of ecology in that way. Here's a tricky one. Is there anything you intentionally left out of the movie, and why?
Yeah, we set out to tell a very human story. We did not want to make a doom and gloom environmental documentary. We wanted to.
You did a great job at that, by the way.
Thank you. We wanted to tell a story through the lens of hope. And so to do that, we had to cut through the noise as much as possible. In water politics, it's very noisy. There's a lot of contention. There's a lot of undercutting. It's a very crazy world. And so that's why we wanted to show every person with whom we filmed, we looked at them from a human standpoint. We wanted to show what does it look like when they go home to their families, no matter.
Again, I love that part.
Yeah, no matter what they spend their day doing, no matter what their allegiances are, what their politics are, everyone's got a family in some way. Everyone's going home to something or someone they love. And that was really important for us to show because I think Utah's unique in that they work together in a very fascinating way. I mean, the state flag is a beehive, right? They called themselves worker bees, they being the original Utah pioneers. And you can really see that on Capitol Hill. It's like, and it's political, it gets heated, but at the end of the day, politicians in Utah, the state of Utah does a very good job at working towards a goal, even with setbacks. It's like next day they're back to work. And so we have faith. I have faith that they're going to figure this out because the stakes are just too high.
In that noisiness of water politics, what surprised you the most?
What surprised me the most? I think one thing is I used to be as someone who was reporting on the drought, I was very conscious of my own water usage. I used to be a little stressed out if I took a shower that was too long or if my kid was playing in the hose for a little too long. And after in engulfing myself in this topic for so long, it actually made me more relaxed about individual water usage, because the scale of water cutbacks we need are so monumental that individuals themselves aren't going to make the biggest difference. Your landscaping surely will. So, and that's where Utah has, but the easiest thing any Utahn can do is just update their landscaping. We live in a high desert. We don't necessarily need green lawns. Our landscaping
Say bye-bye
should look
to
more
your
like,
lawns, please.
we should look probably a lot
And
more
there's
like
so many
Phoenix.
beautiful ways to do it.
Right.
Like there's so many beautiful ways to have a desert yard,
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
that are with climate friendly local plants that should be there to begin with.
Yeah. And also what surprised me was just how, we're so fond, our philosophy as filmmakers is to really we just engross ourselves in our subjects' lives. So we really develop a fondness for all of them, no matter who they are, no matter what they're working towards. These people let us into their homes, they let us film intimate moments, and that to us is so important. And so, I feel like I have people, good friends now that are in almost every community in the state because of this project. So
That's so beautiful. Tell us what has changed on the ground since you started shooting.
wow, it's been a total whirlwind since in the last 3 years. I think when we started shooting, things were going the right direction in terms of momentum for Great Salt Lake conservation, and then there was some backpedaling. There was an election cycle, and we had a very big winter in Utah, and that big winter just really gave Capitol Hill the breathing room to not feel they needed to push lake conservation forward. And now, just 3 years later, we're basically right back where we started, where the lake is almost at its lowest, the lowest point it's ever been. We're in a snow drought, obviously, right now. If that continues, this summer we will probably hit the lowest level on record. And however, there's been some really positive momentum for the lake in the last 4 months. So that's great. I'll let you all watch the film to see what those developments are, but we're heading in the right direction. But by no means is it solved. Is it like just for dust mitigation we need to think about $14 billion in the next 10 years? That's just dust mitigation. So there's this is a problem that needs very, very serious capital, but it can be done. We have the money. It exists.
So when you say we have the money, it exists, talk to me what you mean by that.
Oh, I just mean if you look at Utah tax revenue, if you look at where we have a hugely profitable ski and outdoor industry. We have 5 national parks. Utah is one of the strongest economies in the country and has for a decade or more. It's just and so we have the ability to do it, and just hoping that we are able to pull it off.
I just want to repeat what you said, because I think it's so important, especially when we're watching films like this, that at the end of the day, it is possible. What we're talking about is deeply, deeply possible. And I guess then we have filmmakers here, we have artists and executives and climate advocates. How can we help?
Another good question. I mean, first and foremost is reach out to, if you are from Utah, if you're a resident, reach out to your legislator. I know that the year that the lake was the lowest on record, I know a couple of the legislators who we spoke with said they received 1 or 2 emails advocating for the lake. So you cannot underestimate how powerful a single reach out can be. A call with a voicemail, an email, letting your rep know this needs to be a top priority and want you to do everything possible.
And for those of us out of state,
For those out of state, one thing you can absolutely do is help support any of the local nonprofits that are working tirelessly on this issue. One major nonprofit is here today. They're called Grow the Flow, and they are doing incredible work on the ground. And another newly formed nonprofit that is channeling, it's organizing with some of Utah's most influential companies and families. They're called Great Salt Lake Rising.
is anyone from Great Salt Lake Rising or Grow the Flow here? Can you raise your hand? Will you come up on stage, please? I want everybody to see you so they can grab you at the thing after. I'm going rogue, guys. I'm going rogue. And while they're coming up, we have a couple minutes left. If anybody in the audience wants to ask a question, we would love to hear from you. All right. But before we have the questions, I just want to introduce these guys.
Hey everyone. Our table is just back there, so come talk to us after. We can help you know really specific things you can do to take action. We'd love your energy because we really need to save this lake, but it's going to take all of us. Yeah, we're all okay for the flow.
And if you guys want to sport this sweet beanie, $20 donation gets you one.
Yeah, we're excited to have everybody sign up. We have events coming up. We've got a rally at the Capitol. Anybody that can go to it, we're excited to have you guys.
And are you guys dressed as brine shrimp? Yes.
Nice.
For those of you who don't know,
Tell
brine
us-
shrimp are very adorable little sea creatures that live in Great Salt Lake.
Awesome. I heard someone say, I have a question. Right there. Perfect.
And I'm also a fellow filmmaker, and I'm also a muckraking journalist. I want to couch this question, just kind of a compounded question, just also for some perspective for people who don't live in Utah. First of all, that opening sequence was just unbelievably biblical, which I thought was incredible. But it also seemed like it was several years before we've had huge expansion in Utah, particularly downtown, and that undergirds the fact that we've had tremendous growth in population. A lot of outside companies have come to Utah. You're talking about money, but we also have to think about, and this is the question I have for you, is the political reality, right? So over the course of the last couple of decades, we've had the biggest companies in finance, Goldman Sachs. We've had huge hedge funds, huge private equity, this, that, and the other. They'll have a base in Utah because this is a very deregulated, there's a lot of deregulation, first and foremost. Second, we have big tech. There's all the stuff at Bluffdale. You've got huge, Meta. You've got all the guys that came in with NSA. But we're talking about all the huge data centers that are going to start sucking up all that resources and providing further pollution, right? But then the context is we've also got the ski industry and all of these things that are conflicting. But the baseline is you've got Mike Lee. You've got these guys that are selling open lands to everybody who's going to come and rape and pillage the land. We all know that. And so when you draw a line in the sand, doesn't it seem, and I hope this undergirds, because I haven't seen the film yet and I can't wait to see it, that people are going to die. If you've got an arsenic time bomb, and that was in the New York Times, wasn't it, as it relates to Abbott's work?
That's right.
Right, so we got 3 billion people, that's like twice the population that took place in the last 10 years, right? They're all sitting ducks for literally the consequence of inaction. How do you address that, even though you said we've got the resources, right? But the resources are in guys' hands like Mike Lee, who play ball with guys like Elon Musk, who play ball with guys like Trump. So how do you address that?
I wish I had the answer
What an
to that
easy
one.
question.
I mean, there are a lot of different ways to raise the money, and there's no silver bullet. It's coming from like Great Salt Lake Rising. They're bringing all the most influential families together and really putting their resources to use. And that's one, but those are individuals. We need state, we need federal money to come in. There's no right way about it. The fact that the Wilson's Fallow could be listed, that could be a total game changer. But at the same time, we don't know. There could be major backlash if that were to get listed, and that, who knows how that would impact it.
In the movie, I feel like you address quite well that political problem, and I alluded to it about liability, and I'm actually curious, has anyone thought about state of emergency? Like, because if you had state of emergency funding, because as you just said, there with the arsenic and the dust, there's both the economic, but there's a massive environmental issue here that's super dangerous.
That has not been discussed with us, certainly not on camera. I'm sure have been some discussions about that possibility, but I do not think the governor would issue a state of emergency unless it was absolutely the last possibility for them. So I think we'd be a little far off from that, but I don't know. Things change very fast when it comes to lake conservation.
I think we have time for one more question right here.
You made the statement that in talking about our representatives, our state representatives, that they will figure it out. And yet there are municipalities, cities and towns that have requirements that people have grass in their front yards. So they don't figure out. We have to figure it out by contacting our local elected officials. We can't just leave it to the legislature.
Absolutely.
How do we solve the problem with the municipalities and businesses?
So after working on this project for so long, I see state reps as a reflection of our own value system and of our own demands and our desires. So if we are loud enough with what we want to see happen and basically make the people whose job it is to keep us happy, make them uncomfortable with making them feel like, oh, well, if I'm not going to satisfy my voters, my job is in jeopardy, so I better do the things they want me to do. That's all it is. That's the game, right? So yes, you're right that so many, like, there's an absolute uphill battle, but it just starts with really small basic actions, like reaching out to your rep and letting them know this is the most important issue. Let them know how it affects you. Just say, like, a lot of people have reached out to us, have reached out to Ben in the film and say, should we be living here? Or is my home and the investment in my home safe? Is this something that I should get out of now, right? People are nervous. State politicians do not want that to be a reality. They want people to feel comfortable here. So your voice is really important.
I think that's a perfect place to end. And I guess I just want to end by thanking you so much for making this film, for starting this conversation, and by reminding all of us in this room. I think we are living in a particular moment in America where it can feel like our voice does not matter and there is nothing further than the truth. Our voice matters. And that's why we make art. That's why we're here. And I really urge you, particularly if you live in Utah, to call your reps. But you can also call if you don't live here and just ski and come to festivals here, I believe. So thank you all for being here and using your voices.
Thank you.
There it is. Hi, everyone. Welcome.
thank you so much for joining us here at Earth Lounge. We're going to encourage you all to come as far down front as you can. This is an audience participation session, so you definitely want to be as close as possible so that our hosts can call on you and you can have a chance to win some of our prizes. So welcome, come on down, settle in, join us, join us. All right, thanks for being here. My name is Heather Phipps. I am the Executive Director of the Hollywood Climate Summit, and welcome to Earth Lounge. We're so excited to have you here. Tonight's program is presented in partnership with the Sustainable Entertainment Alliance and Come Clean, and it is in collaboration with Dropout. Yeah, let's give it up. So tonight, just wanted to start off by setting a little bit of a tone to say that what we're going to be doing is busting some environmental tropes in storytelling that some of us may believe to be facts, have influenced us throughout all of our media consumption and ways that we think about the world, and some of us might find it challenging to face some of these debunking, and also just want to acknowledge that we are trying to debunk what we feel are some of the most spoken about misinformation and misportrayals of some sustainability facts and figures in media. That being said, we want to acknowledge there's a ton of nuance around sustainability, around energy transition, and there are so many different ways that every community is going to have a different response to incorporating solutions into their personal communities and local actions. So we just want to acknowledge that and say that we're addressing big umbrella misinformation, but we hope that your stories bring the nuance to the conversation, and that's why we're so happy that you're here in the room with us. With that, I want to welcome our hosts from Dropout. We have Lily Dew and Grant O'Brien from Dirty Laundry on Dropout.
Thank you. This is an extra mic.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Plot Holes Busted. We are your hosts, Lily Dew and Grant O'Brien from Dropout, and today we are going to debunk some myths about clean energy and climate change that have been perpetuated through stories in film and television.
And I personally get all of my science from film and television.
And how is that working out for you?
It's working out great. Anytime a book falls off my shelf, I know it's just Matthew McConaughey telling me he loves me.
And you're sure it's not because you installed your Billy bookshelf at like a slant?
Never,
and
no.
the books are just falling out?
No.
Okay.
I'm handy.
Okay. Good. So, as you can see, Grant is an idiot, and I'm a genius who's also very dumb. And we're here to learn alongside you by playing a little trivia. And this isn't the bad kind of trivia where like a guy named Derek at your local bar knows all the answers and he has like $1,000 worth of bar credit because what? He did Quiz Bowl in high school and you didn't? What? He's not better than you. And does he ever get you a drink? No, because he's selfish, okay? This isn't that kind of trivia, okay? This is the fun kind of trivia with prizes, which you can collect from over there. You're pointing in the wrong direction. To your left. And everyone wins them no matter how you answer. There are no Dereks here, unless your name is Derek. Nothing against you, nothing personal. I just had a bad experience with one.
Get ready to bust some tropes, win some prizes, which are legitimately very good. Hear from experts and learn how we can better tell stories about our planet's future.
All right, first question. Let's look at this image. Okay. Feel free to shout out. This is kind of like a tropey place. Let's look at the tower in the back. Where is this? Where are we? Okay, we're getting Springfield, the exact location of the TV show, and we're going to go a little broader than that. It's what kind of work is being done here? What kind of tower is that in the back? Okay, yes, that's right.
Folks, that's what you get prizes for.
All right, you know the tropes. It's noxious, there's vats of bubbling green stuff, and be careful you don't fall in, or it'll turn you into a child actor.
Oh, Lily, come now.
Let's see it. This is what happened to them, okay?
No.
Okay, no kid just wakes up one morning and is like, Mom and Dad, I want a talent agent. Something is getting into their Cheerios.
You can't say this at Sundance. There's child actors here, I guarantee it.
Former.
Nuclear energy is actually one of the cleanest forms of power, which brings us to our first trivia question.
During operation, a nuclear power plant releases blank into the air. Is it A, toxic green gas, B, microradioactive particles, C, carbon dioxide, or D, water vapor, or E, Zendaya level star power? And we're going to ask people
We're
to
going to
raise
bring a
their
mic around.
hand.
So anyone with a microphone, grab someone with a hand.
Someone with a hand.
All right, red hat.
I'm deciding between D and E, but I think I'm going to say D.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Final answer.
Okay. The answer is D. It's just
Prize.
water vapor. Yes. The stuff coming out of nuclear cooling towers, it's just giant steam clouds. No CO2, no Nickelodeon slime, just steam.
And truly, though, do not take our word for it. I'm an actor. Up until last year, I thought troposphere was a kind of forehead filler.
And don't take it from me. When I go out to eat, I'll Google tiramisu health benefits.
Tiramisu is supposed to be really good for collagen, isn't it?
I don't think
I don't know.
that's true.
But we have an expert here who can help us, which we badly need. Give it up for Malik Reed, a clean energy expert from Come Clean. Malik.
Hey, y'all.
Come on up.
Sure. Hey, what's up?
Feels good to be in the light.
A little bit.
I told you we should have been standing. He looks good.
No, I'm tired. The altitude. Malik, take it away.
So yeah, nuclear energy, really clean. Actually, 100% clean. Everything that comes out of those towers is just water vapor. There's no smoke, there's no CO2, and it's really important for us to have nuclear energy to meet our climate goals and sustainability goals. And this is a contrast to the billions of tons of CO2 that gets put out by fossil fuels.
Give it up for Malik Reed, our actual expert. Don't go far. We're going to need you.
I'm right here.
Literally, don't leave my sight line. If you need to use the bathroom, just clench.
You got it.
Okay, so forget about nuclear waste turning you into something evil, like a child actor. How about the trope that radiation makes you super powerful, like the Hulk or Spider-Man?
I'm always letting spiders bite me and nothing happens.
Grant, you will let anyone bite you and things have happened. You've had chlamydia twice.
Well, what can I say? I'm a risk taker. Which is why I am considering moving in next door to a nuclear power plant.
Which is funny you should say that, because it's actually not that risky. Let's look at our next question. Which of these everyday activities exposes you to more radiation than living next to a nuclear power plant for an entire year? Is it A, eating a banana, B, having granite countertops, luxurious, C, getting a dental x-ray, luxurious, or D, all of the above? Can we see some hands who have guesses?
And here comes that microphone. No one yell, you'll spoil it.
I'm going up here.
Yeah, let's get the back of the room.
Yeah. Front row is such a privileged place to be called on.
Is it my granite countertops?
It isn't. It isn't.
I think it's all of the above.
It is all of the above.
A single banana gives you more radiation than a year of living next door to a nuclear power plant?
Yeah. And I'm eating a lot of bananas these
Really?
days.
No, they're radioactive.
No, don't worry. I'm getting 0 dental x-rays. No
Okay.
place takes my insurance.
Well,
so
as long as you're being safe.
yeah, I think it's evening itself out. You can still go get a prize. It doesn't matter what you answer.
Oh, yeah.
This is easy as hell.
This is the best kind of trivia,
You
folks.
can say whatever. You can say G, F, E. My answer is Z. You still get a prize.
Which is great news, but ladies and gentlemen, I have terrible news.
Our next slide.
There's been an explosion. A nuclear power plant has gone up in flames. We're days away from a fallout apocalypse.
Oh, no.
The only thing left to do now is kiss.
No, what?
We have to. Everything's ending. Kiss your boss. Kiss your boss's wife.
No.
Kiss your boss's wife's brother.
Our boss is here tonight. Okay, don't kiss your boss's wife's brother or the wife, or don't kiss the boss. Don't be kissing anyone. Okay, a nuclear power plant's technology is totally different from a nuclear weapon.
I don't know, Lily. They both have the word nuclear in them.
Okay, so what about like a nuclear family?
Terrifying. Imagine having a wife. Ugh. Two and a half kids? Ugh.
Yeah, where's that half coming from?
Well, actually, you know what? I know who has one. My man Homer Simpson. Let's hear it for Homer Simpson.
You got way ahead of us on that first question. Everyone said Springfield. I know that. The real location of Springfield. Okay, we'll test your Simpsons knowledge. Here, in The Simpsons, Homer is the sole operator of the Springfield nuclear power plant control room. In real life, how many licensed operators does the Nuclear Regulatory Commission require to be in a reactor control room? A, just one, like Homer. Or B, at least two Homers. C, only one, but they need a PhD, smart Homer. D, none. It's all AI now.
Bot Homer. This is what I like. Now, look at all those
up.
hands.
I'm seeing hands.
Gosh, it's almost
near
like this
and
isn't
far.
a very difficult question.
I'm gonna go with B.
P, you said? Did you say P, like pear?
P or B. Yeah.
Okay, P or
B. Final answer.
B? Okay. That is correct. At least two licensed operators at all times. Contrary to Homer Simpson's solo act, the NRC strictly enforces multiple trained professionals in the control room 24/7. So you would need a buddy.
Ah, love Homer. Don't much care for his son Bart. Bit of a troublemaker.
Okay. Again, these are fictional characters. People booed.
That's
People
right.
said,
That's right.
"Boo,
For
Bart."
troublemaking. Boo!
Okay. A lot of hateful people in the crowd. Look, but this is, getting away from our real question that brought us to this. I want to know about a nuclear power plant. Like I want to know about my SoundCloud career. Can it blow up?
And I have a feeling the answer to both is no.
Oh, but it's really catchy.
No.
But here's the thing. I'm not tone
Talented.
deaf. Yes. You don't need that.
Oh.
I'm not tone deaf, but I am rhythm deaf. Does
Yeah.
that matter?
Yes, a lot.
Okay. Well, look. Let's get to the next question. When it comes to nuclear, a nuclear power plant and a nuclear bomb both use uranium. Can a nuclear power plant explode like an atomic bomb? Is it A, yes, if the safety systems fail? B, yes, but only older plants built before 1980? C, no, it's physically impossible due to how the fuel is designed. Or D, only if two people press the wrong button exactly at the same time with eye contact.
Let me hear the hands.
Yeah, let's hear those
Yeah,
hands.
I can hear them now.
Could you hear my hands from
I could hear it from here. That's what
could
came
hear
to
it.
you. You had the loudest hand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess it's C.
Grant? Did you already flip to the next card so you don't have the answer? I'll answer it. It is C. It is physically impossible. A nuclear plant cannot explode like a bomb. The fuel isn't concentrated enough and the physics just don't work that way. I don't know how they work, but they don't work that way. Okay? It's like worrying your campfire might turn into the sun.
Once again, though, don't take our word for it. We are dumb. I flipped my slide too quickly, and Lily uses her fingers to do math.
That is true, and Grant has had chlamydia 2 times.
Come on. Come on.
Okay, so you can't listen to us. You need to listen to Malik. Malik, we have 30-second attention spans because we accidentally downloaded TikTok during the pandemic and we never deleted it, and so now we can't pay attention. Please talk. You have 30 seconds.
Okay, so nuclear bombs are designed to explode and use this energy as quickly as possible, whereas a nuclear power plant is designed to use the energy as slowly as possible. So the energy,
17 seconds.
The fuel for a bomb is highly enriched. The ones for a nuclear power plant, not so much. We have control rods, automatic shutdown mechanisms. Everything is literally is designed to make it as slowly as possible. So it literally can't blow up.
Okay.
The more you know. I feel
Malik,
better.
literally don't leave my sight line. Malik, come back. Malik, come back.
I'm back.
I feel better, but how else can we shift the narrative on clean energy? Don't ever leave my life.
There are a bunch of ways we can shift the narrative around nuclear energy. One of the ways is we can talk about some of the new advancements in nuclear, whether that's small modular reactors or recycling the fuel. Some of the ways we can use it is to just not be sensational about it. It's honestly very boring, and you can write it as such, whether it's as a background or a setting or someone's job. There are very like realistic ways to talk about nuclear. We could talk about how it's sustaining certain communities. Like sometimes the entire town, right after high school, you get out, you join a plant.
Springfield.
Like Springfield. There are tons of ways to talk about it, but it's about rooting it in science. I think the way that movies and TVs in the past have portrayed nuclear has really influenced a lot of our thinking around nuclear, and the way that we're going to get out of that thinking is through media and film as well.
Malik Reed, everybody. And again, we will need you.
Oh, yeah. There's a creator's guide as well. If you want to learn more about how you can talk about nuclear energy, you can scan the QR code. There are tons of tips and tricks there. Check it out.
And if you have questions, scan the QR code. Malik's number is on there, his personal email, his home address. Write him. Old-fashioned letters.
Should we do a little storytelling here?
Sure.
I'd like to welcome all of you to Earth 2050. It's bleak. By that time, I'm going to be almost 30 years old.
No.
Yeah. We'll have our choice
and how old would that make you right now?
We'll have our choice between a water world or a desert apocalypse. Hope, progress, clean energy solutions. Can't even say it in this reality. Sorry, those don't make for a good third act explosion.
But did you know we've made incredible progress on clean energy, and the momentum is accelerating. Solar is now the world's cheapest electricity source.
Ooh,
Give it up for solar.
Right? Did you get that from Al Gore's TED Talk?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love Al Gore's TED
I'm
Talk.
definitely still watching a lot of TED Talks.
I'm a TED Talk guy.
2026.
Oh,
yeah.
it's so fun.
Yeah, love that part of it. Where he says, hello, I'm Al Gore.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Wow, you really have seen it.
Wow. Okay, Google it. So let's talk about our industry. Entertainment is full of beautiful, caring, gorgeous, not always the smartest, but beautiful, caring people. How can we cut our emissions? On a film or TV production, which is the highest source of carbon emissions? Is it A, set design, B, fuel like transpo and generators, C, utilities like electricity and heating, or D, housing? Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you gotta pick her.
We've got a ringer in the audience, guys.
Okay, wait.
Here I come, here I come.
Okay, she's coming. It's not a plant. This isn't like magic. It's worse.
I was on the sustainability panel at 1:30. My
Oh,
name
wow.
is Jendra Jarnigan. I am a cinematographer, and I am the co-chair for the Local 600 Sustainability Committee. And the answer is B.
Grant, she's correct. Don't check your thing. She's correct. She knows her.
I don't know. It is B. Fuel. Fuel
Yes.
makes up almost half of carbon emissions on both film and TV sets of all sizes.
Which is surprising because I'm really pushing those utilities. I'm taking hot baths. I'm turning the heat way up.
That can't be that much energy.
No, it's scalding. It is sizzling. I'm cooking pasta in that, al dente, and then I'm dropping a Lush bath bomb in and getting in, mixing it all up.
Not at the same time. That's horrible.
Mwah. All right, but this isn't about my baths. This is about the film industry. We're making great progress. A recent Netflix series ran its base camp entirely on solar power and batteries, saving 8,000 gallons of fuel. That's the same amount of pollution as A, 5-passenger cars commuting for 1 year, B, throwing away 200 plastic water bottles, C, 50 round-trip flights from New York to LA. Hey, when you're bi-coastal, you are bi-coastal. D, the energy use of 15 homes per year.
Hands.
Hands.
Uh-oh. Here we come.
I see some hands.
Oh, these are the loudest ones yet.
I'm going to go with 50 round trips from New York to LA.
Close.
My second choice would be.
Was B? Okay, try again. Third time's the charm.
Yeah, how about 15 homes, number D?
Oh,
it is
oh my
D.
God, what a genius. Okay. Wow, when you know your stuff, you know your stuff.
Listen, you were, to blow your mind a little bit more, it is not 50 round-trip flights. It's 92 round-trip flights between New York and LA, or the equivalent of 15 homes for a year. That's what we use on one shoot. Yeah, right? Perfect.
Good. Hey, good. All right, let's see our next slide. Let's break a character trope. This white lady, this environmentalist lady, and she is white. Is she a mom? Is she a starry-eyed recent college grad? Who is she? She's the only person at her job and in the movie who gives a shit about the environment. And how do we know that? Because she's got, like, salad in her teeth and she bikes to work while the cars are trying to run her over, and she dresses like shit because she cares about the environment.
Well, now, I don't want to be like her. I dress great.
Grant, you texted me before this asking if you should wear a suit or a cardigan with a bow tie.
Those are two great options. The bow ties are hype beast, as the kids say.
I don't think a bow tie is hype beast.
It's hype beast. It's
Have
hype
you ever
beast.
said that word before, hype beast? You're enunciating a lot.
Well, it's two words.
Okay, no. Caring about the environment isn't a niche interest these days. It's incredibly mainstream. According to recent audience research from Rare, what percentage of audiences want to see climate-friendly actions depicted on screen? Let's get some hands up, because I don't need to read 4 numbers. You all know how to read. I'm seeing
Coming all the way around. Stand by.
Yeah. Oh, this I like. This I like.
Ooh, where's she gonna go?
Awesome. Love you guys at Dropout, just had to say.
You have great taste.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go with C.
The answer is C. 70% of audiences want to see climate-focused actions on screen.
Climate-friendly?
I guarantee not 70% of audiences wanted a musical Joker sequel. But here we are anyway.
What was your main complaint about that film?
Not enough singing.
You wanted it to be more musical.
I love Joaquin Phoenix's beautiful voice.
That's why you think it didn't do well. Not enough singing.
Well, let's get more.
Okay. Look, let's look at the next trope. We have seen this before. We're stuck at the part of the story where we're never, ever, is that in tune?
No.
Okay, great. Moving on. We're never going to agree on climate. Half the world is gun-toting climate deniers, while the other half are vegan arsonists. But what do actual people think? According to recent polls, let's see the question. According to recent polls, how many people in the U.S. believe climate change is real? Let's see some hands up. 70, 56, 40, 82.
Going to the back.
That's my phone number.
Your phone number is 8 numbers?
Yeah. I got one of the early ones.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
B56. I feel like that was bingo.
Close.
Try again.
Oh, A70.
Hey!
Okay. We got another
The 70
genius.
is silent.
The answer is A. Americans who think global warming is happening outnumber those who don't by a ratio of more than 4 to 1. A staggering 70%, while 60% of Americans understand that global warming is mostly human-caused. So shove that in someone's face the next time they tell you that mentioning the environment will alienate the audience. 70% is more than I can get at any of my solo shows.
Okay, and how are you promoting those shows? Because I feel like you have a marketing problem.
I sing.
You sing?
I have a beautiful voice.
Where? Marketing. Where are you singing?
The internet.
Where are you posting this?
It turns out environmental concern is mainstream, not a lonely crusade. The majority of people's beliefs are now shaped by personal experience because people are experiencing climate change now in real time.
That is true.
Which is why we need more personalized, complex, and human stories in film and TV surrounding climate.
Let's go on to our final chaos round. It's time for the debate round. Don't worry, it's not hard. Let's shake things up. I want 2 people on stage.
This is when we need actual volunteers to come up and
these
join
are when
us.
the prizes are the best. So let's see hands up and let's call on.
I saw a hand right
2
here. You're up here.
People.
I see a hand right
here.
here.
Front row privilege. You have to get called
Oh,
eventually.
boy. Well,
oh wait, no.
well.
You ran up. Okay, you come up. You come up. You've been having your hand raised every time.
Hey there, what's your name? Megan. Megan, lovely to have you up here.
What's your name? Julie. Let's give it up for Julie and Megan.
So,
Okay.
Julie and Megan, what we're going to be doing is a debate.
High school debate style. One of you is pro, one of you is con.
And you have to make the argument pro and con. Do you guys have a I'm going to give it to you. Do you want to argue pro or con?
You're pro. You're pro. I'm
You
giving
don't know what you're arguing
pro.
yet.
You're pro. It's really easy. I'm going to put 30 seconds on the clock. You're pro. You're con. The question is, was Sharknado caused by climate change? You have 30 seconds on my count. 3, 2, 1.
Well, yeah, of course Sharknado was caused by climate change. I mean, sharks are almost endangered,
That's true.
right?
That's
I
true.
don't think there's any almost about it.
I need my script writer here. Truly, like, I don't know Sharknado, I have to say. So
I think it's a tornado made out of sharks.
Okay.
But by my guess.
Well, if we're judging by the climate of the water, and we're judging by the disappearance of the sharks,
3
I'd say
seconds.
yes, for sure, Sharknado is real.
Wow.
All right. And for Megan.
Megan, now this is going to be tough. You have to prove that the Sharknado was not caused by climate change.
Definitively prove. You have 30 seconds on the count of 3, 2, 1, go.
Sharknado was actually caused by the sharks.
Wow.
They wanted
Okay,
to be in that
victim
tornado.
blaming.
I also have never seen Sharknado, but they
What are we doing at
swam in a
Sundance where people
circle
haven't
really
seen
quickly.
Sharknado?
They swam in a circle really quickly, and eventually it became a tornado. And that's why it's not caused by climate change, it's actually caused by the sharks themselves.
Okay.
And
Okay,
I can keep
5,
talking for 5
4,
more seconds about this.
3,
as well.
2, 1. All right, round of applause for them. That's what a climate denier looks like. Everyone get a good look
Here
at
at the
your
Impact
phones.
Lounge? No.
We haven't planned for a rebuttal. Did you have one?
Well,
I'm
no, but
open.
I kind of liking this because, like here at the climate conference, we're all banding together, and if the sharks can do it, we can too.
I like it.
You
So
know that
I give it
classic
to her.
high school debate tactic where you go, you've got a point. You've actually convinced me.
That's not good debate strategy, but a very good point.
All right, let's put our hands together for Julie and Megan. They went Patagonia vest.
And you guys get the good prizes over
Yes,
yonder.
literally.
We'll take that from
You get a Patagonia vest. Go get one. Thank you. All right.
Now, we're coming to the end of our program, but we have one more round, and this one everyone in the room is going to play, right? This is something we're just going to...
You have skipped a slide. I'm sorry to inform you. Go back one slide.
I've
You've skipped
explained
it.
that I'm dumb.
I'll read grand
There you go.
slides. That's right. Let's unpack the weird weather tropes like Sharknado. This isn't all just unprecedented weird weather caused by government conspiracy, aliens, cloud seeding, literally anything but climate change. Climate change creates real, observable shifts in weather patterns. In our stories, let's help make sure it's connecting the dots back to climate. And even better, let's see stories of how people are adapting to this reality. Farmers adapting crop cycles, cities updating infrastructure, communities building resilience. The real story is often more compelling than CGI disaster porn.
Mm-hmm.
But not more compelling than CGI porn.
That was a very important slide to have gotten
absolutely.
to. But that brings us to our final round, which is going to be by round of applause. Yeah? We're going to have one more question, and it's going to be an audience poll.
Yes. Let's hear you cheer if you are Greta Thunberg. Okay, she's not here. That's so weird because I sent her a DM. Okay, the question also is, do you have to be a Greta Thunberg level committed activist to be an activist? Now cheer if you are a Greta Thunberg rising. That's like a self-identifying thing. Identify you're like a Virgo with a Greta Thunberg rising. I don't know, I'm not into astrology. Okay, one guy. All right. And finally, cheer if you are a concerned human who cares. That is right. If you leave this room debunking one trope, let it be that environmental activists are not just angry teens or your one friend whose house you can't go over to anymore because they're doing open air composting in their kitchen, cover that up. Environmentalists are everyone who cares about clean air, clean water, and a future worth living in for all people, places, and living things.
That's right. Climate change and climate champions come in all ages, professions, and approaches. Everyone has a role to play, especially storytellers, comedians,
Not
journalists,
us, but other ones.
artists, and dreamers. You showed up at a place called the Earth Lounge while you were at the Sundance Film Festival. That matters.
Stories change what people believe is possible, and you're the ones who tell them. So let's change what we all believe is possible, because that's the energy we need right now.
Thank you all for playing. And now please enjoy the rest of your night while I pass the microphone back to Heather Phipps from the Hollywood Climate Summit. Heather.
Thank you so much, Lily and Grant. That was amazing. Woo! So, because you've all been here and played and showed up at the Earth Lounge, everyone is winning something special tonight. Dropout is generously giving 1 month free subscription to Dropout, so definitely check them out. Watch Dirty Laundry on Dropout. Watch the hilarity of Lily and Grant, and I promise you'll become addicted like me. So, thank you so much for coming. Following this, there's going to be a mixer and cocktails, so excuse us while we shift the room a little bit and get this in the party vibe, but please stick around, join us, and make sure you grab your Dropout subscription card. Thank you so much for coming and playing. Okay, hi everyone, welcome. If I could just introduce you and welcome you to this evening. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Heather Phipps. I'm a co-founder of the Hollywood Climate Summit. Thank you so much for joining us here at Earth Lounge today. The Earth Lounge is a community hub for storytellers who believe and who are practicing that storytelling and filmmaking has an essential role to play in working towards the environmental future that we deserve and that we envision and that we can imagine better. So thank you for being here. It's really important to us that you're joining us in community today. The Earth Lounge is also a collective effort of a number of groups who are leaders in the field of environmental storytelling. They are doing the work every single day to support these stories, catalyzing, making sure that the filmmakers maximize their impact, and providing resources to filmmakers who are interested in telling and incorporating environmental narratives, themes, and ideas into the films and stories that you may already be telling. Those groups are in the room tonight, and I really hope you take the opportunity to speak with each of them. I'd like to thank Come Clean, Sustainable Entertainment Alliance, Universal Film, Climate Spring, NRDC Rewrite the Future, the Redford Center, and Jackson Wild. If you're from one of those teams, would you please raise your hand right now so that everyone in the room can know to come and talk to you tonight? Thank you very, very much for helping to create this collective space and creating an ecosystem of support for the stories that are going to help us towards a thriving environmental future. This evening is presented by NRDC Rewrite the Future and Climate Spring, and now I'd like to have the opportunity to introduce them to you. I'd like to introduce Daniel Heinerfeld from NRDC Rewrite the Future. He is the director of Rewrite the Future. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you so much, Heather. Hello, everybody. Yeah, so for those who don't know, what is NRDC? We're one of the world's leading environmental advocacy organizations with over 700 full-time staff in the U.S., Beijing, and Mumbai. And Rewrite the Future is a group of about 8 of us in the communications department who work in Hollywood to help translate the environmental crisis to the screen. And we do that in a number of ways. I'm not going to bore you with the ways. But one of the challenges that we have faced over the years is that Hollywood has long, I think, had a little bit of a bias against environmental content. There's been a perception that it is divisive, boring, not commercial, and we vehemently disagree with those perceptions. And part of what we try to do is hold up a mirror to Hollywood and show them the beautiful work that they have made that has succeeded wildly, that is very intentionally engaging with those issues. And so to help us in this persuasion, we produced, along with the Sustainable Entertainment Alliance, the video that we're about to watch. It's narrated by Meryl Streep. You may have heard of her. The music is from Coldplay, and we will watch it now. I hope you enjoy it.
Hey, see a story about climate change?
Oh, no. No.
We get it. We really do. Climate change is scary. It can make us feel, well, a little anxious.
I'm just trying to articulate the science.
I know, but it's like so stressful. And we turn to movies and TV to escape. But what if we changed the question? Want to see a great story? Stories can engage with climate, even as they entertain.
All right, but only because I like Earth.
Whether they are dramatic.
What if the world was to get slightly warmer? So if that happens, we lose.
Or funny.
Happy Earth Day, everyone. I'm Recyclops. Did you know that an old milk carton can be sawed in half and used as a planter?
She's worried about the end of the planet. She's gotten the message that we're doomed.
Or stories of courage.
It doesn't feel right to do nothing. It can break something into seconds, but it can take forever to fix it. That's why we have to be careful on this earth.
Stories about protecting what you love.
Come with me.
Dubai Air is owned by a horrible company, one that has turned the southern coast of Nigeria into a hellish, fiery swamp. I can no longer wear their name on my chest.
How will you be remembered? You saw her fall back.
Did you just proactively protect the environment?
Maybe.
So our theme is climate crisis meets extinction event, but in a fun way.
Okay.
Oh, it's breathtaking.
Or a story of adventure.
Wakanda will no longer watch from the shadows. We must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe.
Climate change is the story of our time, and it's being told right now in small moments and blockbuster events that are connecting with audiences worldwide.
Together we can change the world.
So, want to tell a great story?
Let's get it done.
Go to climateonscreen.org, where climate and great stories connect.
Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And do go to climateonscreen.org. There are all sorts of fantastic resources there to help you in your journey. It is now my pleasure to introduce a longtime colleague of mine, Cheryl Sleen. I met Cheryl probably in around 2018 when the idea for Rewrite the Future had just occurred to me. And I needed a partner in crime, and she became that partner and co-founded Rewrite the Future with me, then went on to Netflix to do very similar work, and now works for Climate Spring, our co-sponsor of tonight. So I think of Cheryl as the fairy godmother of the Climate on Screen movement in Hollywood. She's amazing, and here she is.
Thank you, Daniel, my good friend. That was quite an intro, but nobody's really listening, so it's cool. All right. So, it's all right. Do what you got to do. I am proud to be of the fairy godmother contingent of our climate entertainment community. Thank you so much to the Hollywood Climate Summit for putting on this shindig and for everything you do actually to accelerate our collective change work that we're all engaged in. So my name is Cheryl Sleen, formerly of NRDC and Netflix, as Daniel mentioned, now director of the U.S. program for Climate Spring. So what is Climate Spring, you might be asking, or maybe you already know because we've been around for a few years in the UK. We are, in fact, a UK-based company for social good that, as the slide says, is dedicated to supporting screen stories that spark change, and specifically in how the climate crisis and solutions are portrayed in scripted film and TV, narrative film and TV. From showing who's really responsible for this crisis, and I like to call that big oil true crime, to world building that helps us imagine just and regenerative futures, to transition stories that creatively highlight the people and communities who are innovating and inspiring and pushing us to get from here to there, to that better future we all want. So you can grab that QR code up there to learn more about our programs, but a few of the things that we do to realize this ambition are: we invest in developing new, mostly scripted film and TV projects in partnerships with filmmakers, producers, and studios. We have created the first ever Climate Fiction Prize, now in its second year in the UK. We engage with talent with our partners at the Green Writer in the UK, and we develop new screenwriting voices through our Hot House program. We partner with other groups in the ecosystem to support and grow our collective. And we offer story labs, workshops, and trainings, including, just announced this week, back up there, Developing Stories for a Changing World. This is a 6-week online professional program, peer-to-peer, expert-led. We are presenting in partnership with the Sustainable Entertainment Alliance that equips producers, creative producers, development execs, story consultants, anyone who is working in the industry to identify and shepherd along new film and TV stories. It's going to equip you to identify, develop market-friendly screen stories across a range of genres that reflect our climate reality and offer compelling visions for the future. So you can grab more information about the course from that QR code, or take one of these flyers that are on the tables back there, little stacks of flyers, and to learn more about the course. Okay, and finishing up, I just wanted to quickly invite up to the stage, stand up here really quick, our U.S. development executives, Brenda Vogel and Elena Blechter. We are the U.S.-based Climate Spring team, so please feel free to seek us out and ask us more about the course or any of our programs. We'd really love to talk to you. So thank you so much, and enjoy the party.